Hello everybody and welcome to this week's episode of the Mandala Effect. Thank you very much for joining me. Over the last couple of weeks I have been sharing insights, stories around money and how we can begin to change our relationship to money in order to live a better life. To put it simply. A lot of us have money blocks, a lot of us have challenges around money. Maybe that we're conscious of, maybe that we're unconscious of, but most people, unless they've done a lot of work, have a lot of restriction in their lives when it comes to money. So this has then got me thinking. I have created an amazing group coaching program called Wealthy, Wild and Free, where I'm helping people access their natural wealth, the wealth that is available to you, the abundance that is available to you just because you're simply a wonderful being experiencing this human lifetime. Abundance is as much for you as it is for the next person. But having created this program and understanding where people are at after having some conversations, I see people who are afraid to change, who are afraid to step up and go on the adventure that it might take in order to make change in your life. Because the simple reason for that is, even though it's not simple, because it's quite complex and it takes someone doing, but within our psyche, we have an ego, and this ego, our ego mind, is here to keep us safe. It's here to keep us comfortable. And so the story and life that you're in right now, whilst it might feel uncomfortable and you're aware you need to change something, the ego, your unconscious patterns feel safe and secure and don't want you to change because it's unknown, and the ego doesn't like the unknown because the unknown can mean danger. But what if I told you that staying within your comfort zone was the danger of living a mediocre life? Do you think that you are living a mediocre life? Like, how does your life feel right now? Are you living to the very best of your ability? I've been into personal development for years now, and it's always been the most fascinating thing to me. And I built a jewellery company, and went through cancer, and all the while I've been telling myself, well, if I had my time again, I would study the brain, I would study the mind, I would study how we think, and I'd help people from that space. Well, I was given an opportunity to do this, and so now this is what I do. And even when I had my jewellery company, I was doing it in some kind of way. I had a networking group. I ran a networking group in Derby, and we would and there would be a self-development point covered every week, and there would be keynote speakers and stuff, and we had an amazing time. And then I had to let it go because ultimately it was costing more than I couldn't keep it running alongside everything else I was doing. And then life happened, things happened, and here I am again, back in the space of personal and spiritual development. So for me, this is a calling in my life, and often we are given callings to answer, but are we brave enough to take them? So if you're facing some kind of challenge in an area of your life, this is more than underneath the challenge. The solution could be a calling that you're being asked to step up and answer. So this is why this week, after some conversations around Wealthy, Wild and Free, speaking with women who know they have a problem with money but daren't step up and make the change, and just in the space that I am in and the clients that I work with, we're all being called to live our best lives. We are so powerful within our very core. Our power our true nature as humans is power. We have the ability to create our life with our mind. And so many people are just living an ordinary, unconscious life, going through the motions, not tapping into their true potential and their true power. But anybody on a self-development, personal, spiritual development journey is being called to live their best life. And if you don't step up and into your best life and into your true nature, your true self, then you're destined to keep on living in a state of suffering. And so the title of this podcast is Dare You Answer the Call and Go on the Adventure of a Lifetime, because the lifetime is the adventure, right? The life that you're living is an adventure. So let's start to see it that way. And dare you answer the call. Like, dare you step up and go on this adventure. Dare you see your life as an adventure. The one that you have responsibility over, one that you have the power to create and the power to experience in the way that you want. And not many people dare. Not many people are brave enough or courageous enough to go after this life that they want and create it. And, you know, a lot of people are stuck in the safe job because it's what they know, it's safety. It's safety to the ego, it's safety to the parts of our mind that just want to be safe. And that's totally okay. Where you're at is totally fine. But so many people have dreams. And you hear of people's dreams and you hear of people's, oh, one day I'd like to do this, one day I'd like to do that. Well, why not make that one day today? Because if you have that dream, that is your calling. If you have that desire to go and experience something, then not only is it available to you, but the universe is trying to give it to you. And while you stay small in this small space of the unconscious patterns and limiting space that you live in, then you're never going to experience magic. And let me tell you, this world is magical. You're here to experience magic. You're not here to stay stuck in the small ego self. You're here to be your true self, your whole self, embracing every part of yourself and every part of life. And with that comes the adventure of a lifetime. So my inspiration for this has actually, I come from the hero's journey, which is based on a lot of Joseph Campbell's work and has works a lot with archetypes. And it's the hero's journey is how most stories are written, following these stages that heroes are called to go on in order to create an amazing story. Well, Joseph Campbell has a book called The Hero with 1,000 Faces. Now, disclaimer, I haven't read the book. It is on my reading list, but in it he explains and talks about and how the hero's journey is very much like the human lifetime. So the human lifetime is the adventure, and how amazing would it be to kind of end up where everybody's going to end up dead and say, wow, I really lived an adventure and it was absolutely incredible and I wouldn't change a thing. Whereas anybody staying in the small mind probably has lots of regrets, probably has lots of things that they would have changed. But if we can see this life as an adventure and ourselves as the hero of the adventure, then we're going to live an amazing life. And things will just happen. It's all a knock-on effect. If you've listened to this podcast for a certain amount of time, you will know that we're the creators of our reality. You will know that the universe rewards you stepping up and going on the adventure. You will understand a little bit of how this life that you're living actually works. So I'm just going to run through a bit of the hero's journey, see if you can relate it to your life in any way. I know that over my past experiences with cancer, with money, even with relationships, I can totally relate my life to the hero's journey, and it's quite fascinating, really. But Joseph Campbell said in his book, a hero is someone who has given his or her life to something bigger than one's self. Anybody on a journey of on an awakening journey, on a spiritual journey, on a journey just to live a better life, is doing this. You're living for something bigger than yourself, your small self, the ego self. And with that, there is so much power. Anybody who wants to live a better life, anybody who has dreams, has to accept that they need to live a life better than oneself in order to make anything happen, and in order to realize those dreams. And or is it, a dream is a wish without a dream is a wish without a plan or something, or a goal is a dream with a plan, whatever it is. The plan comes with accepting that this dream is here for me, I'm going to go and get it. That's how you start to realize it. That's, you start to get there by just stepping up and answering the call. And I know that answering the call is one of the steps on the hero's journey. Now, there's 17 stages, I'm not going to go through it, but they're broken down into 3. Is we're all living this ordinary life before we're given the challenge, before we're given the call to answer. And it's often people are living their lives unconsciously, not really just going throughout the day, not being aware of their patterns, their, seeing how things relate to their lives, their thoughts, their beliefs, not being aware that they're creating their life. Just kind of going, doing what society says you should do, falling into the pattern of consumerism, and when I have this I will be happy, and not I can be happy now and I can create my own happiness. And that's how most people are living this life, until we embark on the adventure of a lifetime and we're given a calling. Something is here to say, let's embark on the adventure. So it can be that you suddenly want to turn this dream into a goal. It can be that something unforeseen happens. So for me, I had a wish that I wanted to study the mind, that I wanted to help people create their best lives. And this was a dream for me. I didn't really see it as something that I could realize. And I kept ignoring that dream, and I kept avoiding that dream. Not avoiding it, I dabbled here and there, but I never took the full leap. So something unforeseen happened to me, and I had a forced awakening. So my calling was there in a dream or a goal I wanted to realize, and then I didn't take the calling up. So I was thrown into the adventure with this unforeseen circumstance of an illness. And there were many other unforeseen circumstances that I hadn't related to this as well. So, but only on reflection do I see this. So then the second stage is we face the challenge. So the adventure starts and we're faced with a challenge. For me, my challenge was cancer. I had to understand how I was going to heal myself from cancer, and by taking responsibility and not just carrying on living unconsciously the life that I was living before. Now, we face resistance in this, and when I say, I mentioned before that I resisted the goal that I wanted, the dream that I had, I resisted that. So I had to face a much bigger challenge than I was being offered previously. When we face this challenge, we have to go through the motions, flow with life a bit, so that we understand how we're going to resolve this challenge and overcome this challenge. Here we're being really called to step up and step into this challenge, go through the eye of the storm, face it, and on the other side is the result that you are looking for. So then this is the third step. We overcome the challenge. We step into our power as a human. We become stronger, and we become stronger as humans, physically, emotionally, mentally, and ultimately it makes us a better person, the person that we want to be, and it gives us a better life, because we're living the life that we are consciously deciding to live by having a vision, by going for it, by working towards it and overcoming the challenges that happen along the way. So this is kind of the basis of the hero's journey, is that we embark on the adventure, we face a challenge and we overcome the challenge. And so in this lifetime, you get to call, whether you get to choose whether you consciously go on the adventure or whether you're forced unconsciously to go on the adventure. So I want to give you some kind of tips on how perhaps you can see this in your own life and see the challenges that you're facing at the moment as an adventure, and the adventure that you're being called to go on. So if you can see your life and every challenge as an adventure, as a game, then it's going to make life a lot more enjoyable, because you see it as a challenge. You see it as the next level up. While you're in it, yes, we have emotions that we have to deal with. We have pain that we have to experience. We also have pleasure that we get to experience. We have so much that goes on in this human experience. But if we can just separate ourselves from it and understand that we are more than the human, we are the pure awareness, we are the witness, we are spirit, we are consciousness. When we can step out and observe the human and the life that the human is going through, then we start to understand that actually this is just a game. This is just a dream, the Maya, the simulation, the matrix, however you want to see it. And so from that space, we can make life a lot of fun, especially when you really tap into your power of being able to create your life. I want to suggest here that we don't take life so seriously anymore, because life, like I say, we have these emotions to deal with. Some of these challenges are really, really hard. Cancer was not fun. Some of the money stuff that I've experienced has not been fun. Some of the relationships that I have experienced have not been fun. But for the most part, does it really matter? Does any of it really matter? So can we just take a step back, stop making life so serious, and let's make life a bit more fun? If you can lean into the energy of fun, lean into the energy of this life is an adventure, then you are going to see so much magic open up for you. That waking up every day, seeing a new day, your day as a new adventure, is so powerful. And we'll always have challenges to overcome, because there is no end screen or rolling credits on our lives until the very end, of course. But even then, depending on what you believe, is there really? Because we're a soul we're a spirit having a human experience. So is there ever really the end screen? No. But if you can see your challenges as an adventure, then they will be much, much easier to deal with. So let's take a look at your three main areas of life, which is your health, your wealth, and your relationships, your love, and where are you being called to embark an adventure within those areas. So for me, Cancer, I was being called on an adventure. And actually, when I reflect on my Cancer journey, I did see it as an adventure. I was very fortunate that my coach at the time had actually done a lot of studying on the hero's journey. And he told me, it's time for you to step up. You've done the training, you've got the training. You now need to put this into action. You're being called on a challenge and adventure. So at that point, I did very much see myself as, Bilbo Baggins being called to go on the adventure. Slightly different. I felt, a bit more panicky about it than that. But in my health there, I was called to embark on an adventure. I faced a lot of resistance. I faced a lot of challenges, and I overcame them all. And I understood at the end of it the power of my mind, the power that I had within me to heal something as ginormous as this rare form of breast cancer, and my ability to transform that part of my life in order for me to live a healthier, wealthier, and more loving life than I've ever lived before. And so then in the areas of your wealth, what challenges are you experiencing? What adventure are you being called to embark on? Is it that you want to change your career? Is it that you want to, that you may never have enough money at the end of the month and that you want to experience more abundance? Do you have like crippling debt that you want to overcome? What is the adventure, the challenge that you're being called to embark on there? And in your love, like in your relationships, are you single? Do you want a partner? Are you in a relationship that's maybe run its course? Like, what's the adventure in your love life? In you, like in any area of your life, what dreams are you being called to chase? What adventure are you being called on to embark on next? This is really exciting because this is where you really get to step into the truth of who you are and experience this magical life, not just allowing life to happen for you, allowing life to happen to you. This is where life happens for you because you're consciously choosing to go on the adventure that you're gonna, like, the challenge is gonna come up whether you're aware, like whether you want it to or not. So let's see that challenge as the adventure. And then this is where, for me, visualization is really, really powerful and important, because the importance of a vision is that, like I say, the challenge and the adventure is going to come whether we like it or not. But what does your life look like when you have overcome that challenge? For me, when I had cancer, I visualized myself healthier than I had ever been before. And that is wholeheartedly, I can say that I am healthier than I have ever been in my life. And you can look at pictures of me from 2 years ago and you will see that, just in absolutely everything. Like, I have like amazing natural hair, right? Like, my skin is brighter, my eyes are brighter, I am slimmer because I am healthier. I'm doing things that I love with my mind, my body, I take care of myself so much better. And that was the vision that I had for myself. So when I overcame the challenge, I became a new person. I became the healthiest version of myself that I could, and there's always room for improvement, but I became the healthiest version of myself that I had ever been in my 30 years. And so because the universe will always give you challenges to overcome, the vision that you can have will also help shape those challenges. So say you have a vision, like I say, you have a dream. Maybe that dream is just to be really simple, say, make £1 million in a year. The universe is going to give you challenges in alignment with that vision, with that dream. Okay, so this is what you want. Here you go. Here's the adventure. Go on this adventure and let's see what you come up with. Let's see how you get there, because it's possible for you. Anything is possible for you. The only thing that stops us is our mind saying, no, can't have that. The small ego keeping you safe. Can't have that. But the universe will give you challenges in alignment with what you want. So I wanted to help people create a better life for themselves, help with personal, spiritual self-development, help with growth, help with awakening, be part of something bigger. And, I am now a coach. I didn't consciously know that I wanted to be a coach a few years ago, but the vision that I had for my life, I had to go through those things. I had to face those challenges and step up for that adventure in order to see that vision. So I had a vision. I was given the challenges in alignment with that vision. And, a lot of this is subconscious. We don't know we can't predict a lot of this stuff. If it's known to us, then it's just a reflection of the past. It's not anything new. So a lot of it will be unknown. A lot of it will happen in ways that you can't even imagine. Who ever knew that I would get cancer? But then also, if we take a step back out of the human again and into consciousness and spirit and souls, our soul, did they choose our journey before we entered this human reality? Did they choose our journey before this lifetime? Who knows? So maybe we do somewhere know what we're going to go through and how we're going to overcome it. But again, that's tapping into something bigger than ourselves, something bigger than the human, understanding that we are the pure awareness, the spirit that is the consciousness that is experiencing this human reality. And then who do you need to become, and how are you going to access your power? So knowing your vision, who you need to become to see that vision, and how you're going to access that power that resides within you that is so untapped if you're just unconsciously living your life. Like, how are you going to tap into that? When you know this, you will have a head start on those challenges because you know what you're working towards. You know the end goal. You know where you're going. So this, for me, is really quite powerful when we think about how we're going to create our life and how we see our lives. Like, for me, seeing life as an adventure, I love it. I love it. I love anything to do with adventure, trying new things, travel, hiking. Me and my boyfriend went on an amazing walk at the weekend, and we just planned to go do this loop, but it turned out that we could walk below the cliffs and because it was low tide, and we could walk along like on the beach, but it was all rocky, and because the tide was out, you can't do it when the tide's in, and it was all really quite adventurous and fun and magical. And so when you can see life that way, as this adventure, then you can have so much more fun. And then, it's just fun, and it takes so much pressure off life. Like, this is happening to me. It all comes down to how we need to take responsibility for our lives if we want to create the best life that we can. We're being given such a gift with this human journey, with this life, and we have so much available to us that we daren't tap into. So I dare you, whatever challenges you're facing, whatever adventure you're being called to go on, to go for it. Just step up. Just go for it. If it's in your health, if it's in your money, if it's in your relationships, whatever area of life you're being called to step up on, to step up and go on the adventure, see this lifetime as an adventure, just go for it, because you never know when the rolling credits of your human journey is going to come to an end. And would you not like to know that you have lived your life to its fullest potential, and that you became the person that you were supposed to be? It's so powerful, and your soul will be fulfilled, and you'll live in joy, and it is just such a satisfying way to live. I hope that this has maybe encouraged and inspired you to go and live that life and go after your dreams and your goals, and your vision, and be clear on your vision and who you want to become, because you have so much available to you that it is just, maybe it's a waste not to tap into that. So go for it. Go on the adventure. Be Bilbo and go and enjoy it. If you are maybe unsure of how you can step up and go on the adventure, then feel free to reach out to me and we can have a chat. I offer a 30-minute complimentary call to anybody who's considering private coaching with myself. And in our private coaching journey, I very much ask you to step up. It is an adventure. It is a journey. You are going to go to the depths of your unconscious mind to make change so deep that you will not recognize your life at the end of it, for the better, because you will uncover so much. You will go on the adventure of a lifetime, and you will create the vision. You will see the vision of your life materialize in front of your very eyes. The stuff is magical. It is so powerful. So if you're interested, if you need some support, please just book a call through the link below. And anybody feeling called to step up in their money journey, in their money story, change their relationship to money, go on a financial wealth adventure, an adventure towards true freedom, then have a look at my Wealthy, Wild and Free group coaching program. We start at the end of July, and it's an 8-week group coaching program to help you access your wealthiest and most free version of yourself, specifically aimed at money, we will uncover your money shadow, overcome your money blocks, and begin to create from a place of true power. More information about that and how you can apply is in the link below for Wealthy, Wild and Free. It's going to be so much fun. This work, I want to congratulate you for looking at this, for looking at yourself, your life as an adventure, and really going for it. So many people miss out on amazing opportunities to experience the magic of life by ignoring the call. But well done you for daring to step up and answer the call. Have an amazing week, and I will see you next week.